Marvel Legends single packs for $34.99 and double packs for $5.99. Like, seriously, what the Hello and welcome back to Jacob's Toys. My name's Jacob, aka Jacob's Toys. Please do like, share, subscribe and all of those things. All support to the channel is very much appreciated. Now, I do want to state that the views and opinions in this video are of course of my own and not of companies or organisations or retailers or anything like that. I just wanted to throw a few of my thoughts out to the recent ups and downs of the Marvel Legends pricing at the moment. Now, this is based on the UK. Now, I know over in the US and other countries, they are having similar issues in regards to prices going up and down. Stores closing, stores having mega sales, other places promoting things at a very high price. But I want to talk about the UK at the moment. Now, I am not going to name and shame and drop in loads of different retailers' names, but there are two that I'm going to speak about specifically in this video, and that is Hasbro Pulse and, of course, Game. Now, for anybody that is a collector and hasn't been living under the rock, you, of course, would have seen the tsunami that has been the Game mega online sale. We have seen some crazy prices. Figures go in for $5.99, $14.99, $19.99, and they're all relatively new figures. We had a whole bunch of the retro 3 3/4 inch go up at $5.99, some of the newer ones. We also had a whole bunch of other figures going in really cheaply. So some of the new What If figures, like the Howard the Duck wave, which had like Howard the Duck, He Who Remains, the Richly Grant Loki, going in at relatively good prices as well. So like things like $12.99. And then things got crazy. We saw things like the Captain America full scale Winter Soldier shield going in for, I think it was about $59.99. We also saw really insane prices like the new Mojo Deluxe pack going in at $11.99. We saw the Null and Venom 2-pack going in at $14.99. And we also saw the highly sought after, highly popular Renew Your Vows 2-pack, including MJ and Spider-Man, going in at $14.99. But the one that really threw everybody and got people going absolutely insane was the Ned and Peter 2-pack, which is from, of course, Homecoming, going in at £5.99. That is ridiculously cheap for a 2-pack. Even though they are civilian clothed figures, they're not high. They were not highly sort of sought after or very popular in the midst of all the Spider-Man anniversary wave. So we had the whole bunch of Spider-Man anniversary figures come out last year, the Beyond Amazing set, and the Ned and Peter 2-pack was included in that. And then we saw it appear online at £5.99 at Game. Now, for anybody that doesn't know, Game is a retailer, it's a brick and mortar store as well as an online retailer that predominantly sold computer games and then went into the kind of nostalgic collectors side of things as well. So you saw things like Funko Pops, action figures, Lego, various bits and bobs to kind of put up on the wall and stuff like that. So it's very similar to GameStop over in the UK, but not actually associated to GameStop. And believe it or not, I actually used to work there many, many years ago. However, the in-store price for this 2-pack was $29.99, which even so was still heavily reduced compared to the price it came out at. But then, online, they launched it at $5.99. This sent the community into outrage. You had people that were just kind of jumping off and buying 2 or 3 packs. You had people that had paid full price for the 2-pack, like myself, who were then really annoyed, unlike myself. And of course, you had those that were just flipping them and straight away they were appearing on eBay for like, you know, a little bit more. A lot of the community members went into the stores and tried to get that $5.99 price, but it was quickly shot down and told that it was an online price only. Now, at the time of filming this video, they have ceased those sales. Those particular 2-packs, like the No and Venom 2-pack, the Renew Your Vows 2-pack, and the Mojo, and the Ned and Peter 2-pack have all now been put out of stock. So you can't get them at that price anymore. But this sent the community in an outrage. People just couldn't understand how there was one particular store discounting something at so much when other stores were still selling it at such a high price. Now, the whole distribution of toys and stock and all that kind of thing is a whole nother video. What Game decided to do with their stock is obviously completely down to them. But you have to admit it is bonkers. That is a lot of stock that they are looking to shift very quickly. Now, it wasn't that long ago that Game was actually doing another very similar sale that was with in-store stuff. So people were going into Game stores and finding things at heavily reduced prices. And most of them did turn out to be Hasbro products. But having a look at the website, you saw that there was a lot of heavily reduced items and a lot of people were getting good deals. And this is great for collectors. My personal opinion on it is the price something is when I buy it is the price that I pay for it. If that's reduced a little bit later down the line or somebody gets it at a real special offer, then I'm not going to be bitter about it because I chose to buy it at the price that it was at. However, $5.99 is a real kick in the... But anyway, moving on. At the same time that this sale was going on at Game, you had the likes of the Gamerverse Spider-Man released by Hasbro on their website, a single carded figure going in at $34.99. Now that's a lot for a single carded figure. Now, again, you have to take licensing into account. So there's obviously the Marvel license, the Sony license and all the rest of it. But that again is another video looking at licensing on toys. I will do something on that at a later date. But still, £34 for a single carded figure is a lot of money. Now, if you go back through my playlist, about 2 months ago, I did a video on exactly this, predicting what was going to happen based on some of the information I'd seen on other websites. And I said this. So the average customer isn't buying as much because things are more expensive. Now, one thing that did come out of this shareholder meeting is that Hasbro did announce that you should expect to see some sales in the not too near future, which initially does sound great. Hasbro products on sale, count me in. However, this is due to Hasbro and other retailers having a large inventory of stock that they can't shift. So these are the sales that we were expecting. These are those sales that we were expecting to see. They just came around a little bit quicker, I think, than a lot of us actually anticipated. One of the things that's really annoying a lot of people on the community pages is people are seeing things announced and they're going, I'll wait for the sale. I'll wait for it to go on clearance. I'll wait for the game sale or something or other. My personal opinion is this is not going to be the case. The reason being that video about prices going up and sales going down, we are now starting to see the effects of that. What we are seeing is we are seeing a lot of excess stock. So a lot of excess stock that retailers have bought that they are now unable to shift. They are putting into sales and they are flogging out. The newer stuff that's coming out and the pre-orders that are coming out for the things that are further down the line, like this Spider-Man's Gamerverse version, the prices are slightly higher to make up for the lack of sales beforehand, and the stock levels are going to be smaller as well. At the time of filming, that figure had already sold out on Hasbro Pulse UK. Now, considering the amount of people that are complaining about the price of that figure, it's quite surprising that it is sold out so quickly if a lot of people, as the community is talking, a lot of people in the community are saying that they're not going to buy it, that they're not going to pay that much money. But yet the figure has sold out. What that says to me is the actual stock value, the stock levels of that figure are much smaller than some of the other figures that we've previously seen. And therefore you will not see this figure in a sale because the small quantities of stock would have been pre-ordered, would have been purchased, would have been distributed. And by the time the people that are waiting for it to come into sale are sitting there waiting, what they'll actually end up doing is paying a higher aftermarket price. There has been a huge rise in the number of collectors in recent years. And a lot of that is down to COVID. We had a lot of new collectors come on board because obviously they were sat at home and they were looking for a new hobby and they discovered action figures. Fantastic, welcome to the club. However, a few years ago, the amount of stock produced was a lot smaller. So therefore, the pre-orders did sell out before they hit retail. Things did have a higher aftermarket price because people were unable to obtain them. And I honestly think that this Gamerverse Spider-Man is that first sign of those kind of previous times resurfacing. It's a higher priced figure. It's already sold out on pre-order at Hasbro Pulse, but yet a lot of people are saying they're not going to buy it. So yes, there are some amazing sales out there for relatively recently new figures that came out within the last 12 months, and that is fantastic. And if you are a new collector or if there are holes to fill in your collection, then by all means jump on them, take advantage of them, because you're not doing anybody a disjustice by taking advantage of those sales. They are fantastic. I, for one, definitely picked up a couple of the retro 3 3/4 inch figures that I needed, that I just hadn't picked up and I hadn't got around to picking up. At the end of the day, I got them for $5.99 and that's fantastic. However, I do understand that there could be a further implication to the amount of 3 3/4 inch figures we perhaps see because these ones were so lower priced. Who knows? It's early days. But yeah, do go and check out that video about prices going up and sales going down. It's quite interesting, and the information that I picked up on through various websites was quite insightful. And I will do a future video on the licensing of toys as well, because that again is a very interesting rabbit hole to jump down. One thing for sure to take away from this is prices are definitely still rising, and we are not going to see them drop back down. Everything's going up, there are less people buying, so prices are going to rise. The other thing to take away is that there is going to be sales. There will be sales. There are going to be a number of sales. There are going to be a number of retailers doing sales, getting rid of that excess stock that they can't shift. So do keep your eyes open. It'll be a great time to jump on board and get some of those extra figures. The one thing I would say is stay away from sites like eBay for these figures that we have seen on sale recently. People selling them there at a higher marked up price are nothing other than a scalper. They are somebody that are buying something at a low price and selling it for a higher price to make a personal profit. If it is a figure that you want or a figure that you've been thinking about, then check out your retailers. See if there's any sales coming up. Keep an eye on them. Keep an eye on the community groups, trade, sell, all that kind of stuff. Do not feed the scalper. And of course, where you can, do support the local and the smaller retailers, because at the end of the day, they're the ones that bring that hobby to our doorstep. And we want to keep them afloat for as long as possible. So always support the smaller retail where possible. There are some fantastic ones out there, and unfortunately we have lost some good ones recently as well. Anyway, there's my thoughts, there's my 5 minutes. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Please do leave a comment if you've got something to say. Like, share, subscribe, and all of those things. And of course, keep your eye on the channel for future videos, as well as Instagram, TikTok, and all those things. Till then, I'll see you soon.